crabs, huh? That was a bug getting you. Well, hey guys, we're gonna take a quick little trip out to the desert west of town. Check on the road conditions and maybe go see some volcanoes and lava flows, and heck, maybe even the bomb range. So it kind of sounds interesting to you. Come along with us and let's go do a little bit of exploring. Well, good morning, everybody. It is March 30th. We're out on the big desert. I guess technical name for it's the Eastern Snake River Plain. We're here at Lava Reservoir. It's just a little water collection spot for cattle. Let's take a quick little look around and see what we see. Well, as you can see, we're joined by all three dogs today. We're not shooting a bow, so Bambi's decided to come out with us. Looks like this little reservoir just sits up on top of a little lava lying low spot. You can see the deer are coming into it. Looks like Suki found an old coyote skeleton there. I believe this big retaining wall here, I think they made that to keep the constant wind out here from, I guess, kind of evaporating the water faster than what the sun could do. And I don't know how much that could affect it, but I've never seen water in it till today. Yeah, there is some moss growing in it. It's not much, but out here water's everything. You can see the middle and eastern butte out there in the distance. And over in that direction there, big southern butte and Cedar Butte. This whole area here is nothing but a big volcanic plain. I don't know what Suki's doing there. Guess she's learning what water is. We got little Bams. And if I can catch up to her, little white dog right there. And we're kind of in between storms. This is the one of the few days again that we have that we can get out and do this. See, all the mountains are still snow covered out there. Not a whole lot we can do. Well, let's head down the old bumpy gravel dirt road and see what else we can find. You know, somebody spent a lot of time stacking this rock. A lot of work with it. I've got a black Suki dog that thinks she's a mountain sheep. What'd you find up there, Soups? Huh? Hey. Yeah, we got another one of them walls again. I don't really know what their purpose is. This isn't anywhere close to a little reservoir or anything. I don't know. You know, somebody spent a lot of time building them. I'm sure it's a windbreak, but I just don't know what the purpose of them are. Kind of interesting. Well, does anybody know what that thing there is? Might look just like an old rusty tin type of cylinder. That at one time used to be a practice bomb that they would fill with sand This whole little area right here is all an old World War II bombing range. You can see them kind of scattered out across the ground there. But anyways, these old bombs were just filled with sand. They had a military base there where the Pocatello Airport is today. They'd fly out here and practice dropping their bombs. Now they're just scattered everywhere. Yeah, that whole area out across there is nothing but these little sheet metal sand-filled bombs that they drop. There you can kind of see what the little wrinkles on it after it hit the ground and kind of wrinkled up. Kind of a nifty little deal. I know they strafed out here too because the kids have found, you know, the old 50 cal bullets. I've never found one yet. But they are out here. Looks like we had a herd of elk in here not too long ago. And there's a reason for that too. I'll show you here in a sec. And that one there is a perfect example of one of these bombs hitting right on its nose. You can see how it kind of just wrinkled up that metal. Like one time they were painted blue. Yeah, it's pretty interesting stuff. And those dang things, you gotta watch out for them. Nothing worse than having to rely on a friend with a Leatherman to pull them out of your backside. But there is some signs of spring. And we got these big mounds of dirt. I mean, they're round, so they've been human made. But I'm wondering if that was part of the target for these bombs. As they are sure scattered all the way around these little high spots. Don't know for sure, but to me it's kind of obvious. As soon as I can get a through this fence. Well, this is a guzzler. Basically a big storage tank full of water that slowly seeps out right here. Kind of lets the wildlife have some water in the drier spells. Dogs all seem to like it. Elk have been using it. There's a bunch of elk here there in the water. Basically how it works is whenever we have a rainstorm, all that water will run down this metal roofed structure here, come down, drop down into this gutter, that hole, down into that pipe and into this big guzzler here. And that'll keep the elk and deer and antelope watered through some of the dry spells we have. It looks like the elk are using it pretty heavy right now. Yeah, there's another one of them rock walls there. I was looking on my OnX maps and they list all these little reservoirs, and in each one of these reservoirs is one of them walls. So, and it's just got to be a windbreak. Keep that wind from that hot wind in the summer from evaporating the water as fast as all I can see. Boy, the elk have been in here. There is elk tracks everywhere. This coming up week's gonna bring a lot of water, so they won't be coming to this guzzler much after that. Get another shot of how that guzzler works. I don't know who put these in here. I know there's two of them. One's quite a ways to the southeast from here, but I mean, it's all the same area. Hear a lot of little horned larks. But I haven't seen no flowers. It's a nice green sagebrush is all. A little bit of green grass starting to appear, so spring is on its way. Hasn't been too long ago, this was just a muddy mess. Well, we are at well number 2, one of the cattle watering areas. There's a few of these out here across this desert, but look, they got a big old generator that runs it. Yeah, one time I think it used to fill this old concrete cistern here. Now they just use this big old tank. Like a little old tool van for house the generator in. Well, they just pump the water, comes up that hose and dumps into that tank. Everything's gravity fed. I'm sure the water comes out on these valves down here. Most of the time it's going to be big trucks that will, big tank truck. Gonna fill up with water, then haul it to the dispersed water tanks out there. There's no way into that concrete cistern anywhere. I don't know, you'd have to have gotten access to that. Seems like a long time ago. There was a hose type thing up there hanging down, and we needed water bad one time across here, and we had to stop here and get some water for ourselves. One of those 100-degree days, and driving around with an old International Scout with no top on it. We were about fried by the time we got to here. That water never felt so good. Well, it doesn't seem like the dogs need too much water, but I sure do. It's not quite as great as I thought it'd be out here, but you gotta remember today it's not even gonna be 50 degrees. Come on, Bams. Come on. Oh. But anyways, this is this eastern Snake River plain. We always just called it the Big Desert. And we got this line of buttes. Big southern, middle, and eastern. If you kind of follow that line, it'll about take you right to Yellowstone. It's all part of that same, I guess, volcanic activity area. You know, it's all basically the continent shifted to the west, and the hot spot now is in Yellowstone. It used to be here. And then we have craters of the moon just southwest of here. Anyways, this Big Butte, I'll get some better footage of it, but it's like 300,000 years old. East Butte, 600,000 years old. And the Middle Butte, they have no clue how old it is. The reason for that is that this whole area was buried in basalt, just like this, from previous volcanic activity. Well, when those volcanoes rose up, they're all rhyolite instead of basalt. So they rose up through the basalt layer. The Middle Butte, however, didn't basically blow its top. So there's really no way, I guess, for them to know the age of it. But it is a little chilly today. I mean, it feels good, but it's a little on the cooler side. You know, this area is just huge when you get out here. There's not nothing out here. Most of the time you don't even have cell service. So it's not a good place to get broke down in, but in its own way, it's a pretty neat little place. Well, let's just start with the East Butte. East Butte is 6,572 feet in elevation. Middle Butte is 6,391 feet. As the elevation of the Big Butte, 7,550 feet. And I've never been on the Middle or East Butte because that's on a government nuclear site out there. On that big Southern Butte, I've been on it, and boy, that is a steep mountain or butte. I mean, it's like that. There is a road up to the top of it that is pretty steep. Used to be an old fire lookout up there too, but they took it down. Now all that's left up there is kind of a picnic area type thing with a fire pit up there. But there is a water supply on it. There's a spring on the, let's say, the north side. I believe that's where the stage used to stop and get water, but that road is so rough now and washed out, I ain't going on it. So, but we'll finish up our little break here, then we'll head down the road and see what else we can find. Well, we're at a cinder cone. You can see this weird cindery stuff, I guess. Trying to get a shadow out of it, but see all that stuff's just all kind of roped in there, and I mean, as big as this is, it don't weigh nothing. It's all full of air. And neat to see all the swirly stuff in it. Now this one looks kind of neat. Let's see all the little air bubbles in it. And you can kind of see where that lighter red, I guess, that's the cindery part. Then we have the darker, I don't know if that's basalt or what it is, but I'm not sure how these cinder cones are formed. It just looks like this stuff was just full of air. I don't know if it's tossed in there or bubbles out of the ground this way or what, but got old Suki up there trying to find her way to the top. pretty interesting stuff. And maybe a geologist or something could tell us some more how this is formed that's watching this. But if you look at this, it just crumbles apart. Yeah, they use this a lot on road beds and stuff. What the heck? Suki, get down. Get off the top of that. Come on. Gotta figure out what all that noise was up there, and looked up and that dog's looking over the edge at me. Goofy thing. But anyways, they make a lot of road beds out of this stuff. Hopefully you can see all the different colors in that. Somehow it all oxidized with that, almost like a coppery looking patina to it. Don't know how all this was formed. I mean, it definitely was flowing. It wasn't, spit up in the air like a splatter cone, but I don't know why it is so different compared to regular lava with all the little air pockets in it. Well, the interesting thing about these railroad tracks out here at the INL, used to be a military base in World War II. And this is how they supplied it. After they fired the battleship guns enough, they had to reline the barrels or re-rifle them. They would take them to Pocatello. They had a big plant there that would redo those battleship guns, and then they would send them out here by train. And from the INL, they would fire over there to the Big Butte to test them. It's a little interesting tidbit that you probably will never see in a history book. Yeah, there's Big Southern Butte, and over there's Little Lost Side. Got Big Saddle Mountain there. Lost River Range, and over through there's all your Pioneer Mountains. And there we have Middle Butte and East Butte. And right behind the truck is Cedar Butte. There is a wilderness study area on that side. Well, the lava flows here have been dated to as recent as 10,000 years. Over on the craters of the moon side, those are, within 2,000, well, a little over 2,000 years old. But yet the Big Butte's 300,000 and the East Butte's 600,000 years old. So there's been a ton of volcanic activity through here. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. I'd like to thank everybody that's watched and subscribed. We've surpassed our 500 subscriber mark. It's about 490 more than what I ever thought would ever watch me. But if you like what you see, give me a thumbs up, comment, and share. And until next time, see you later.